Hello and welcome all to Unwanted Gyan. It's a new series called Life Lessons. It's a different type of video than what I have put together earlier. Hope you like it, and if you like, do comment and subscribe. So today we are going to talk about few events in our college which taught us a lot, in fact, and we still remember that. And for that, I have a very close friend of mine from college.
Hello everyone, it's nice to be here. And yeah, I'm also really excited to share the things that we explored and experienced in our college days. So please, carry on.
Yeah, so and we sat down, we discussed about it, and I think we came up with three things which I think still impact our life. And the most eventful of that was robotics.
Exactly. So we were actually not very keen in joining robotics
Right.
as such. We randomly ended up in one robotics session conducted by our robotics club in our college, and we liked it so much that we pursued it for like almost next one semester. We wholeheartedly dedicated to it.
Right. I mean, it was so random, we had no idea what we were doing initially. And it kind of was exciting. So, me and two other friends of our college, including who is here, we sat down and we thought, okay, let's create something, right? Which was exciting. We never even heard about robotics before that.
Exactly. And it was interesting in terms of not only uh, building something new, but in terms of technology as well. We were basically using what we were learning. So we used C as a coding language, we used microprocessing knowledges that we were having courses in our during our BTech.
Right. And infrared sensing, we attached LED lights. In fact, we innovated so much, like we had a board which had three wheels, and the first wheel was a Rexona deodorant. You must have seen a roll-on. So
Yeah,
our third wheel was a Rexona deodorant roll-on.
yeah, we needed the first wheel, the front wheel, very versatile like the auto rickshaw front wheel.
Right.
And we were not able to find out, okay, how should we do it, because normal wheel you cannot move it 360-degree. And then we randomly thought of, okay, let's use this one, and it worked perfectly fine till our like the competition that we actually appeared. It was autonomous robotic event in IIT Kharagpur, Chhattis.
Kshitij. I think that's the largest tech event in Asia. And when we went to the finals, and we never expected we would go to finals, and in fact we lost because we could not do a 90-degree turn, and that kind of taught us that one small thing can change so many things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, apart from that it was, I guess, more than 90 degrees. It was around 130, just acute angle, more than 130 or something. So it was just sharp turn as a V. So
Right.
apart from that turn, we did exceptionally well. So just to give you an idea how good our robot was. So the idea was that there would be two robots, and first robot would be given a
Baton.
yeah, a baton, and it has to pass to the second bot, and the second bot has to finish the end line and drop it there. So first one should take the baton, pass on to the second one should carry it to the finish line and drop it. And to begin the first bot, it was supposed to
Without any human touch.
yeah, without any human touch. So we used
We used
light
to-
sensor.
Yeah. So we had light sensor. We need to flash a light so that the first bot will start, take the baton, stop at one place, pass the baton to the second bot, give a signal to the second bot, so the second bot could start. At the end, the second bot would drop the baton. That was the whole scenario. And I mean, if we look back to all that, we learned a lot from that.
Exactly.
Right.
And our first sensor was so powerful and so accurate then that in the arena when people were clicking pictures using flashlight, once our robot just started. So
Right.
you can imagine how precisely we had programmed our robot to sense those, I mean, tiny bits of lights. And it was really a great learning experience. And the moment we entered the arena on first day, we were shocked. There were like hundreds of team all of them working at night. It was around
Right.
something 12 p.m. or something.
And it was winter.
Yeah, too cold.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. It was amazing. In fact, one thing we did was the microprocessor had limited number of ports. Now what we had done were we could do only, let's say, 4 transistor or 4 sensors. What we did was we did parallel sensors.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That also increased our sensing power. So yeah, I mean, few things we learned. One was teamwork for sure.
Yes.
Right, we were 3. I mean, we stopped going to the class. Don't
Follow this one.
follow this one.
But yeah, sometimes following passion is okay, but
Right.
don't make it a habit. Yeah.
And then I think we spent sleepless nights for months, and we'll see some videos of our prototypes and what was our end bot. And another we did learn coding also for that. I mean, we already knew coding because we were in IT, but microprocessing coding, how it works, each sensor how to read, each capacitor resistor had different voltages to control your speed also.
Yeah.
And ultimately we also needed to handle pressure during the, I mean, we had sleepless nights. We were coding right on the Kshitij platform.
Yeah, on
Right.
the arena. Right. Just before putting our robots on the arena, we were like coding till last minute.
Right.
And it was such a great learning experience that it taught us teamwork, dedication, and how you can find happiness and passion. Those few months were like the best of those 4 years that we spent in our BTech college.
Right. And one more thing, like earlier I told that we could not do a 90-degree turn, and that was our bad thing. But then one thing again, it's those small things, right? I remember our team name was Tech Maverick, and before the final, nobody could finish the line because there were some lines which were making the bot to move away from the main track, but ours was faster. So with time, we were selected, but we thought okay, we will never get selected, and
For
we
the
went and
finals.
slept.
Yeah.
And I got a call in the morning, and this guy is telling me, "Are you from Team Tech Maverick?" I said, "Yes, you've been selected for final." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
And for final, we are saying like around in top 8 in almost more than 100 teams.
Yeah, more than, I mean, it's the largest tech fest in India,
Yeah.
in Asia, in fact. Yeah.
So we were like in top 8 teams, and the first time that robot moved, I mean, that was a feeling that as if it is our child. To be honest, we were so full of joy and happy that okay, we made it happen. So
Right.
that was something that although we couldn't continue it further,
Right.
we somehow
Yeah, that
lost
was our
track.
failure. I mean, we could have done. So the next step was to do image sensing, and that could have, maybe it could have shaped our future. But yeah, that is one learning that we do now, is to don't leave it.
Yeah,
Even if
exactly.
you don't get any recognition or anything, if you think it is good, if it is helping you, pursue it.
True.
Yeah. So that's the first learning. I mean, it was amazing, and I think we still cherish those memories.
Definitely.
And those videos will show you like how we went through.
Although the video quality is going to be very bad because we didn't have camera at that time,
Back
and
then.
even that, it's like 2000. We are talking about 2007. So even that time, the camera Nokia, the best one was maybe 2 megapixel or something.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, enjoy those videos, and we'll go to the next topic. Okay, so we looked at robotics. Let's look at what we did next. So it was a paper presentation. It was based on RFID, radio frequency identification. And back then, let's say 13-14 years back, RFID was only a concept, or it was expensive back then, in fact, so it was used in very small places.
Yeah, it was mostly still a research topic back that time, and maybe in India it was hardly used anywhere commercially, and for that we presented a paper in Kolkata at that time.
Right.
Yeah, it was a open paper presentation by CTS. So we prepared this one. We spent almost more than a month, I think.
Yeah, I mean the whole concept. We just told RFID, but the whole concept was having, let's say, one ID, or let's say one credit card that you have, which will cater to everything. So how RFID works is, you must seen, like, you can tap your credit card and it reads, right? That way it can sense passively or actively. So our concept was having one single ID or identification of one card, which would cater to all your daily
starting from like driving license to voter ID, or using any other organization or institutional ID card as well. And we didn't just stop there. We spent hours and hours in thinking what all could be implemented using this RFID concept. And we thought of a smart refrigerator back in that time when it was not even a concept. We also thought of something very much similar to what we have right now as Amazon Go. So there would be RFID chip attached to all items, and you just pick it and billing is done automatically.
Right. I mean, we thought of a whole ecosystem, if you say so.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, I mean, if you start with, let's say, a milk bottle, the milk bottle will have an RFID. Now, whatever he said, that Amazon Go, that you can go, you pick up, so it automatically bills. So our thought was back in 2007-8, that your milk bottle will have an RFID. You may go to a shop, you pick it up, it will automatically bill because you have that card with you, and that is your credit card also.
Yeah.
Now you put it in your fridge knows that you need 2 milk bottles, so your fridge has a RFID reader. Now once your 1 milk bottle is over, your fridge will order, let's say from Amazon, that I need a milk bottle, right? So the whole thing was an ecosystem. It can be used as a RFID tag, where what is it called? Fastags, right? It can be used as a fastag. It can be used as your credit card. Anything and everything possible, and we thought about it. In fact,
and we just not thought about the ideation part. There is a huge risk of eavesdropping in RFID. There is a huge risk of security, and we gave a detailed thought about how to prevent eavesdropping, how to prevent identity theft or data theft, everything. So it was not just ideation. We also thought of how to make it happen in real life, considering all security issues and privacy issues and everything. So we see all these things, fastags and Internet of Things and smart fridge, everything, all of these coming up these days. But back in then, like 15 years ago, it was not at all. Maybe in research facilities or in US, it would have been under research, but it was not a common idea back then. And we gave a lot of thought and imagination on this topic.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Amazon and if you search RFID protected wallet, nowadays you will get a lot of listings, right? Back then we thought about this kind of a wallet which will protect active or passive RFID eavesdropping.
Exactly.
Right? So yeah, that was like 2008. So yeah, I mean, it taught us a lot. I remember imagine you are being in a boys' hostel, not playing Holi.
Yeah.
Closing yourself inside a room and not going outside. Even if your friends are there, you want to play, but we locked ourselves in our room and
because we had to leave for the presentation the very next day.
Right.
So we decided, no, we will put our last effort in making the presentation perfect, and we didn't play Holi at all.
Right.
So yeah, you can imagine the level of self constraint and dedication that we put in. And the main thing that we learned while doing all this was imagination is powerful.
Right. I mean, if you sit down and start thinking about something, I mean, if you put everything of yours into it, your solutions will come.
Yeah, ideas will flow, and once you start picking up idea and you put thought into those ideas, you'll actually also come up with ways to implement those ideas. Ideation is fine. I mean, to be honest, uh, coming up with ideas is not a great thing, but coming up with solutions to make those ideas happen, that is what makes the difference.
Right. And anybody can do it. It's not, I mean, we never knew we could do it until we did it, in
Yeah,
fact.
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And it helps us now, right? We were in IT, so we were in IT jobs. Every day we have to analyze, we have to come up with new approaches. And that gave us the confidence also that we could do it.
Even if it is something new, even if the world has not heard of any problem or any concept, we still have that confidence that okay, we will sit down, we'll imagine, and we'll come up with certain solution.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'll never back down from a problem, because you know inside that I can get to a solution. May not be perfect right now,
Yeah.
but we will get to a solution. It will be perfect with time. It always takes time to get things perfect, but we always know that we can get to a solution. That gave us a confidence. We still have that. We still carry it with us right
Exactly.
now.
And it is helping us a lot in our day-to-day corporate life, even years after what we did back then. So the main thing that we learned is imagination is powerful. Don't be ashamed of imagining things.
Yeah, and I mean, our mind is powerful enough to do everything, right? So use it to good, imagine, and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
That will make it beautiful.
True.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. Okay, the last but not the least, we did a research paper per se, which kind of looked at our education system. We were rebellion back then, and me, my friend, one of our female friend were there. We spent 1.5 months in our library every day to look at our education system, because we were kind of fed up with, like, why did we have to go to our first year of college? We already studied in our 11th 12th. If I have to go in IT, why do I have to study mechanical engineering, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the main idea behind that research initiative that we took up was to bring a change in the education system back then that we had. Over the years, it has changed a lot. So now we still feel that it is much better than what we had back in 2007 or 8. But at that time, as he said, we were kind of rebellion a lot. Still, we are a little bit. So we were always questioning, why are we doing this? Why can't we do this? If I want to learn only, say, for example, only I want to specialize in operating system or systems engineering, why can't we just pursue courses on that? And that led us to this particular research thing that we did. We were 3 of us, and we spent hours and hours in ideating what all changes we can bring into the education system. So starting from flexible semester, dropping course in between, picking up courses whatever you like, finishing credit score within, say, 2 or 3 months, and taking a break to do whatever you like in rest of the months of the semester. So there were plenty of ideas that we thought of back then.
Right. I mean, in fact, we wrote down everything, whatever we were thinking. So we had prepared a huge questionnaire, like, why do we need to change? We had to prove ourselves, like, thus the idea is not enough, right? We need to prove why is it good. So we had prepared a questionnaire which would tell us each and every point that we wanted to make and prove.
Yeah. So it was like kind of we had kind of two versions. One was meant for students. One was meant for academic people, teachers, professors. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the permission to conduct those surveys. Our idea was to take those questionnaires,
go to different colleges,
yeah,
like interact with students, ask them to fill that questionnaire. So out of that questionnaire, we would prove our result.
yeah,
We did not know what was the next step, but at least we wanted to prove that this can happen.
yeah, exactly.
Right? This change can happen. People want this. If it's not about engineering per se, if somebody wants to paint, let them paint. Right? If somebody wants to dance, let them dance. It's like that way. So we, as per our engineering, we wanted to code. So we just wanted to code. We didn't want to do any electronics or anything else that kind of irritated us back then.
Engineering mechanics.
So yeah, so main idea was that we wanted to go to each and every college. We had to go through this questionnaire. Every student would fill that. We would get this census out of everyone.
Yeah.
That what is the current thought of each and every student? Do they really want to go through the first year? Do they really want only expertise in one thing? That's what we wanted to prove.
Yeah, obviously there are pros and cons of specialist course and generalist course, but
we should have an option.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was about to say that. The main point that we had this was students should have option. They shouldn't be just forced that okay, you have to be generalist.
There should not be a format actually.
Yeah.
Right? We are always fitting everyone in the same format. Yeah. Not everyone is built for that format. We need to understand that. Right? Somebody may fit in a different format. So we should give that freedom to choose.
Exactly. And due to this research, actually, we kind of lost few months of our studies. We also kind of got bad names in
yeah, we went for a permission to our director, and he just told
Dean,
us
actually.
Dean.
Yeah.
So he just told us why are you doing this? These things are done by people who have 30-40 years for experience,
yeah.
right? But then
nobody would listen to you.
Nobody will listen to you. But then it was not great feeling back then because we had spent a lot of time. But now looking back, I do feel like we were trying to do whatever we wanted to do.
Yes, exactly.
We never stopped because nobody will listen. That thought never came to our mind, exactly. Right? We wanted to change, so we sat down, we worked on it. It did not work out, fine.
Yeah,
but we learned.
We tried. We learned and we tried. We went from professor to professor to get their backing, from HOD, Dean. So there was a time that we went to some maybe VC or something, and he already, the moment he saw us, and he was like, okay, you are the people.
You're right. As he told, we missed classes, but let me tell you, we made up for it. We studied hard after that, and our CGPA was quite good.
Yeah, exactly.
So do this, but then also focus on studies.
And the how to say, the important thing that not important thing, I would say the happy thing that I'm glad about what we did back then is whatever we thought of back then 15 years ago, many of those ideas are being proposed in the new NEP, National Education Policy. Right. So once this NEP came out, we again talked about it, and we were like, okay, see, we were right, we were ahead of times.
Right.
We thought of all these flexibility, all these options, all these opportunity given to the students by NEP back then in like 15 years ago. So it proved that our inquisitiveness and our questions, our idea were not wrong. It's just that we were maybe just at wrong time and wrong place.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong that we are bragging about it. What we are trying to say it, anybody can do it.
Exactly.
Right? We never knew.
We are just random people. We are not some big shot or something.
Right.
It's just that we are saying that if we could do it, you guys can do it.
Correct. Right. With that, I think thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I think this brings up lots of nostalgia.
Exactly.
13-14 years back.
Yeah.
And it feels happy to talk about it, and talking about it also gives motivation now.
True.
That
true.
if we could do it maybe 14 years back, why not now?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it's good to remember all those cherished memories.
Right.
I'm glad to be here and sharing all these experiences with you guys. And all I want to say is just keep learning, keep dreaming, keep imagining, and things will fall in place if you put proper dedication and effort.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and we hope that this helped you, maybe inspired you in some way.
Yeah.
And you can pursue your dream. Maybe try it. There is no need of we don't need to think about success failure. If we try, we'll learn for sure.
Exactly. Trying is most important.
Right. So thank you so much. It was glad talking to you after many years.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Everything.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and getting in touch with you guys. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you.